I say, you too. You too. Good morning, good morning. It's a good morning. If it's your first time rocking with the boy, I'll be the KINGSPR33. That be me, King Spray. You locked in one of the realest. Reporting live from Las Vegas, Nevada, home of the 2024 Super Bowl. The weather about 33 outside, a couple clouds in the sky, praise to the Most High. Do me a favor, keep on the lookout for that new mixtape coming soon. I promise you gonna love it. So we got a Monday morning. Y'all probably see this on Tuesday, but we got a Monday morning. Just left the gymnasium, headed to the old work, the old job. We want to talk a little bit about mind prep, prepping the mind. We're going to talk a little bit about mind prep, prepping the mind. I feel like I'm about to do like a speakeasy poetry session. But do me a favor, go ahead and give me a like on the video, please. Anybody watching, put a like out on there. Trust me, it helps a lot. If you're new to the kingship, go ahead and put a subscription on that. Press the subscribe button. Make sure your notification bell is on. I know you hear everybody say it, but it really does make a difference. So, and of course, share the content if you think somebody can relate. So, I'm in the gym. A lot of times in the gym, especially lately, over the past 3 or 4 months, I've been doing like the audiobook thing. So I've been getting through a bunch of good audiobooks, man. From the Nipsey Hussle one to biography of Malcolm X. There's one called Male vs. Man. Of course, I'm on Rich Dad Poor Dad right now. There's like 3 or 4 other ones. I can't remember their name, but I'm getting through them. And I usually listen twice. I listen to both Rick Ross's books. I usually listen twice through. Art of Seduction, Robert Greene, so on and so on. So, and while doing that, I really try to the first listen is just kind of to hear it said out loud. The second one, I try to really get into what they say. And then the third one, I try to write some notes down. I'm not doing this to say I'm doing something better than somebody else. I'm just saying that's how I go about developing the mind and mind prepping. So let's get into mind prepping. Now, when we're in school, prep school, the goal of prep school is to prepare you for the world, right? The goal of preparatory education is to get you ready for the world. Now, what should be said in the in quotation marks, or not quotation, but parentheses, sorry for the lisp, is that it really is to get you ready to work for somebody. The goal of prep school is to get you ready to work for somebody. Think about it. You're going to have deadlines. You're going to have times you need to be there. You're going to have to ask to go to lunch or ask to go to the bathroom. You got a designated time for lunch. You're going to have a designated winter break, a designated summer break. And every year that you get older, there's going to be more responsibility placed on you, right? And for most people, that's kind of how we're going to do this. You're going to go to work. You're going to work your 9 to 5. You're going to, sorry for the camera angle, but for now, that's how it's going to be. You're going to work your 9 to 5. You're going to be in a situation where you get your check. After the taxes are taken out, your health care is taken out. After the bills are paid. After mortgage or rent, car note, so on and so on, you might have a couple dollars to put in an emergency fund. And then you got a couple dollars for miscellaneous. And miscellaneous usually is entertainment, so on and so on. So the problem with that is, and there's no problem with that. The problem with that is it's never enough money. You could make 150 grand a year, it still won't be enough money. You can make $3 million a year, it still won't be enough money. And for the people that make 30, 40, $50 million a year plus, a lot of them find themselves saying it's still not enough money, right? Because you're in a situation where your lifestyle's now graduated. Hold on, give me 20 seconds. Hold on. We're back. Your lifestyle's now graduated. So back to mind prepping and prepping the mind. I put on my Instagram just a picture of the things I'm listening to today. And one of my homeboys commented and he put fire emojis on it. And then I I said in the Doctor Strange voice, it's the only way. And then he put mind prep, it's the only way. And it's so true. With anything, you got to be able to prep. When I used to work in the restaurant industry, Payway, Joe's Crab Shack, managed at Joe's Crab Shack, managed at the Corner Bakery. When you would expect a rush, meaning like the most people at that for a certain time period, whether a lunch rush, dinner rush, breakfast rush, you want to make sure you have your items stocked ahead of time. So that when the rush comes, you're going to deplete those items, but if they're prepped ahead of time, you don't got to spend as much time going to gather the items, thus making you more efficient. And if you really get on your P's and Q's, you would have prepped for the rush and then prepped for the restock after the rush. You would have that emergency resource to dip into. Now, how does that translate to what we're talking about here? Well, you got to think about your 20s and 30s as an opportunity to prep the mind for what will be the rush of your 40s, 50s, and potentially even further back. I work in the healthcare industry currently. There are so many people I see that, like, when they get into the rehab center and they're staying there, they don't have a place to live for real. They don't have a way to pay for certain things. They don't have a car. They don't have family members that can help them out. They don't have a plan on how to navigate without working. A lot of them are depending on their Social Security check or a pension of some type, if they're lucky. But they don't have a way to navigate how to go about being. It's almost like they haven't thought about being an adult past 50. They thought they were going to work until they're 70, 80 years old. And that's not, realistic for anybody, to be honest. So back to mind prep. In my middle 30s, I'm 35, just turned 35 last week on the 14th. In my prepping of mind, man, I thought about going back to school. So some would say, well, you want to prep your mind, school's the ultimate tool. Not really. Now, you should go to school to learn a trade, which I did. And that trade will offer you a living. You can make a living, which I did. And JOB means just over broke. And that's a reality. That's a reality, right? Most jobs are gonna pay just enough so you don't quit. Right? And that's something I got off the Rich Dad Poor Dad. So, but it's a reality though. Most jobs are gonna pay you just enough so that you don't quit. You're gonna expect your annual raise. In some places, like being in the nursing industry, you might get biannual or what have you, a bunch of incentives to get that dollar amount up. But whether it's $30 an hour, $20 an hour, $15 an hour, or less, or it's $100 an hour, it's not gonna be as much as you can make if your money's working for you on another angle. Now, this ain't new information. There are many people that have been preaching this for the longest. I've had friends preach to me it, didn't listen. I've heard it on many TV shows, many podcasts, so on and so on. But as of late, it had to hit me for me to know, like, damn, I got to get on this. Imagine being 13, living in Sparta, and they throw you into the jungle and say, yo, you got to figure it out or don't come back. Well, you're going to learn how to hunt. You're going to learn how to gather. You're going to learn how to kill. You're going to learn how to move in a room full of vultures. And that's what I'm doing now in my mid-30s, where I'm trying to prep my mind, prep my body, and really get into the situation where when it's all said and done, I'm prepared to live comfortable. Now, that don't mean I'm going to be rich and famous. That's not what I'm talking about. And a lot of people think that that's what that means, that you either are going to be somebody that goes bankrupt or you're going to have millions and millions and millions of dollars and be rich off of it. And if you don't do that, then you failed. And that's not true. When it comes to building your portfolio, when it comes to building essentially your knowledge base, because like I learned from the book, all investing really is knowing what to do when others don't. It's not really about buying, because you can buy properties with no money, which I'm learning. I didn't know that. You can buy investments with no money. There are ways to get around not even using a bank. So it's not even a buying thing. It's not even just having a money thing. Yes, having access to money is going to make the transition a lot smoother, but it's not even about that. It's more about what you know. So yes, education is everything, but school for a lot of people is not about owing people money at the end of the day. Owing 80 grand and making 30. And that's just not feasible for me at least, and where I'm trying to go moving forward. So we mind prepping, man. Books, audio books, podcasts, conversations with friends, act like movies in some situations. The Big Short, Wolf of Wall Street can teach you a lot, even though they're entertaining movies. We're just trying to learn how to maneuver, how to learn how to navigate through the system, right? Imagine back in the day when there was no GPS and you just had the map. After a while, sometimes you wouldn't even go on a trip because you knew you had to look at the map. It's like, man, I don't want to go through all that. God forbid you try to just figure it out. But now that we're in an information boom, basically, we have an opportunity to have technology and have information at our disposal, which is our GPS. Now, if you take the heed, if you take the knowledge and you listen and you learn, you can really be at your destination a lot quicker. If you don't, not only will it take more time, you might not reach it. There's a huge chance you might not reach it. They don't teach you this for a reason. They don't teach you about financial literacy for a reason. They don't want people to know about credit. The whole government is in debt. The whole thing is based on debt. They can't afford for you to know about credit. They can't afford for you to know about how to buy a home properly and not worry about the interest rates. They can't afford for you to learn how to make your money work for them. Yeah, it's there. Anybody can do it. But they can't afford for you to know how. And that's something that I'm learning now that I had no idea. I had no idea, bro. I promise you. I had no idea. And it's a journey. It might take you 5, 8, 9, 10 years in some cases to get comfortable making one transaction that leads to another, buying one multifamily that leads to another, one duplex that leads to another, selling that to get commercial real estate that leads to this, that leads to that leads to you even being in the rooms with certain people that allow you access to certain deals you would have never known otherwise. We got to get some skin in the game. I'm 35 years old. I'm young and I'm old at the same time. You know what I'm saying? I'm an old young dude, and I'm a young old dude. You tell any grown man 50 plus, 35, he'll be like, oh, you're a kid, you're a child. You're still learning. You never stop learning, but you're even learning more. You in the prime state of your life. You tell a 25-year-old you're 35, they look at you like, whoa, when you gonna retire? My point I'm making is that I got a lot of time, but I don't got a lot of time. You dig what I'm saying? Me and my peers, we got a lot of time, but we ain't got a lot of time. One of the things we used to always say back in the day is, man, if you in your early 30s and you got your stuff together, you young as ever. You a young OG. But if you living with your moms, if you, no disrespect to anybody that is, but I'm saying if you're not together in your early 30s, you could be looked at as baby boy. You could be looked at as Jody. You dig what I'm saying? Anyway, we ain't gonna make this video 2 hours long, but we got some more videos coming this week. It is Christmas week. We got Christmas Eve coming up. Big day for a lot of people. Actual Christmas Day. And then next week, Friday, we got New Year's Eve going into the new year. So be prepared for a couple videos coming y'all way. We're gonna keep the content going, man. I'm really just learning this whole thing. So some videos are gonna be quality, some will be trash. We'll try to meet somewhere in the middle. This has been a message brought to you. Oh, please like the video. Please subscribe to the boy channel. I ain't begging, but I'm asking. This has been a message brought to you by the good people over here at Spree ENT. And until I can find something better to say, we all we got.